Welcome to a new episode of WIZLAND with Wiz. Happy to be with you guys today. Today we have a couple of things we're gonna get into today. So currently it is Tuesday 10 p.m. officially May 17, and there's a couple of things that actually occurred today that I wanted to talk about. The first thing is going to be the She-Hulk trailer. If you are an MCU fan or follower, whatever the case is, if you have been keeping up with the Marvel Universe in Phase 4, this is going to be something that I want to get into. To be honest, ever since the Endgame movie, I have not been keeping up with the new Marvel stuff for the most part. I mean, I know what's going on with it. I know that about the shows that came after it, like Loki, like the WandaVision, the Captain America spin-off, the current Moon Knight show as well. There's several shows that have occurred after the fact of the Endgame, and honestly, for my personal taste, they have not been good. Some of them have good episodes, but the entire aspect of the show, I do think and believe that they've dropped the ball. Loki, honestly, one of my favorite villains within the world of the MCU. That Loki show was honestly skippable. I was only able to watch 3 episodes. So for this, prior to watching the actual trailer, I want to kind of give my kind of guess, prediction of what I don't want to see from this trailer and what I don't hope to see in this trailer, because honestly, if any of these things are on it, I'm not watching it. And it's because at this point, the Marvel brand is a good brand. To be honest, they've been able to create a lot of good films within the last 10 years. So at this point, is anything less than what you already shown and created, kind of is there's no excuse for you guys to not keep doing or getting better with the content, with the movies, with the shows. There's no reason for you guys to not improve. And I just don't want to be a total asshole, but because I know that to create a film, there's a lot of people's hands in the film. It's a big process. Sometimes it's years of process to get to the final product. And I know a lot of people do work hard to get and create these movies, these shows. It's a lot of collaborative effort going into these type of projects. But Marvel as a whole, they got the money, man. They got the money. They're the best, not the best, but they're the biggest, one of the biggest companies in the entire world. So there's no excuses for them to have, for them not to have the best quality product out there. More so when you have the best writers, the best directors, you can literally get anyone you want within these particular fields. So there's no reason for the entire universe of the MCU not to be developed correctly at this point. So the main thing that I don't want to see in this trailer prior to watching it is horrible CGI. One of the main things that I'm starting to really get into is, as an artist, is trying to understand special effects, trying to understand CGI. For anyone that does not know what CGI is referring to, is basically computer generated imagery. So things that are not real, that are created in programs by artists. That's basically what I'm referring to. Video effects, which is visual effects, is something like a bomb or something like a let's say a destruction of a city or things of that nature, are also created on specific programs for these movies. They're not literally made in real life. Some of them, most of them, are not made in real life. So when it does happen in real life, it's pretty cool. And there are limited amount of times you can do or recreate certain things like that. But That's the main thing I don't want to watch or see in this particular trailer. I don't want to see a ratchet or cheap generation or She-Hulk. I don't want her to look fake. If I can explain myself, I think that one of the things that the Hulk has in all its faces, which I only saw that I believe when I was smaller, I watched the initial Hulk movie that they had, and honestly, they have developed and they have transcended from the original. If you go back to I believe in the 1970s or 60s when they had a bodybuilder playing Hulk compared to what they were able to create with the new Hulk movie in the early thousands, is a big leap. But regarding to say, I'm one of those persons that believes that the best Hulk was the Hulk from 2008. That Hulk looked crazy, crazy like a monster. He looked like he could not be controlled, and I think that now that they actually created the Hulk from the Avengers and things of that nature, I don't like that Hulk. I don't like Mike Ruffalo's Hulk. I just don't like him. I think that he's very small to be Hulk. Not as him, obviously as a human, but I'm saying like the whole character. The Hulk character is very small, too friendly, and honestly, I think the best that they've been able to kind of create Hulk is when he was fighting on Thor. I mean, that kind of Hulk looks okay, but that's about it. I mean, I don't know what happened, but that 2008 Hulk was the best Hulk in my opinion. The look of it, the characteristics of what Hulk should be, I think they had it on point, and ever since then, it just went out the window. So without further prolonging this, let's go ahead and watch the trailer. So if you're listening to this on your podcast, on at the gym, wherever you're listening to this, I'm gonna go ahead and play the trailer, and I will go ahead and kind of give a mild reaction to it, just because I'm not that big in kind of that big. I don't really show my emotions that well, unless it's something I'm very like really amazed by. So let me go ahead and take a look at this. Let's see. Okay. Okay, so to begin with, I honestly thought that the Hulk, She-Hulk, was gonna be a movie, and I didn't know it was gonna be a show. Something that my brother actually told me that he actually kind of told me about it. So the trailer is coming up, so let's see what's up with this. Oh, so actually Hulk comes out in this trailer. We haven't seen it. Mm. Yeah. Yeah, you saw how she looks. I mean, it doesn't look right. And this is what I don't understand about these movies. It's like, how is it that you got so much money and the CGI does not look right? Yeah. So it comes out on August 17. Yeah. I don't think I'm gonna watch this. To be honest, and just by looking at it, man, these are the things that I don't like about kind of the film world, and I think that's why these type of movies don't get a good name. I mean, they're starting to kind of get a better name with the years and things of that nature. Once you see things like the Joker coming out, things like the Batman movies and things of that nature, they're starting to be taken a bit more serious as actual films. But when they create stuff like this, it's just I don't know, man. My personal thought about this, I don't like it. I don't like the CGI, how it looks on her, and I think that they definitely have to do a better job with the CGI generated content, because when you look at movies, I think the beauty about movies and fictional stuff is that you're taken into this world that you know in your head it is not real. You know that already. But when they're able to create CGI content and make it look realistic, they're able to mix it with the story. You're able to see our entire world and it looks realistic. That's the beauty of it. But when you already know something is not real. But when you have characters, the main character of the entire story, so you're going to be exposed to this character a lot of times throughout the show, but she does not look legit, that's going to take you out of the entire show, and it's going to keep you from kind of going into this character's life and trying to have that journey with them. So honestly, that's the main thing, the issue that I have with movies of this kind of caliber. And this is not a movie, this is a show, but this is the issue that I've been having with the shows with Marvel. Like, I try to watch Loki, I only lasted about 3 episodes. I try to watch WandaVision, I could only do 2 episodes. I try to watch the new Moon Knight one. That actually I lasted about 4 to 5 episodes, I believe. I just wasn't able to go back to it. But I think the Moon Knight one it's okay. It's not that bad. I try to watch the Daredevil one. I have not been able to finish that one, but I think that one's a good one. The Punisher was a good one too. But that's what I'm saying. Like, those don't have a lot of CGI. They do have CGI in the aspect of maybe the tricks and things of that nature, but you can't tell what's CGI and what's not. With this ones, when you have creatures like Hulk, creatures like She-Hulk, bombs and things of that nature, if it does not look real, if the monsters do not look real, you lose the character. You lose people, because then the people that are watching the movie are not going to believe that that's a real thing. Even though we already know it's not real, we want to kind of go watch this and follow the journey and kind of feel that you're being taken on a journey. And I think when you know that the CGI is not good, it kind of loses you. And I think that's why some of these shows are not that good. They're good in a sense. They're not good, but they get the hype due to the people that like it. And I think that's where the whole issue with the whole Marvel thing is. Where people where I believe that Marvel already knows that people will still watch it because of the brand, and they don't really, some of these projects don't get the proper amount of time to be developed, and then you get stuff like this. So we'll see. Hope I'm wrong, but honestly, I'm not gonna watch it unless it's something that that a lot of people are saying, oh, it's really good and stuff like that. And trust me, I heard a lot of different reviews on certain shows that I have not watched just because it doesn't look good to me. But there's certain shows that I do kind of regret not watching earlier than I did. I like the Game of Thrones one. That took me a long time to actually watch it, but there wasn't a lot of CGI on that one. It was more so the backstory of the entire thing, and it was good. But when it comes to CGI related stuff, I just very picky about it. That's the main reason I don't watch stuff like with a lot of CGI. I think the biggest example that anyone can have, if you're out there paying attention, I mean, CGI, you should try to reach that level of Avatar. And I know it's one of the best movies of all time. It has made the most money ever. But if you're doing any type of work within that type of world, you should try to aspire to be, if not close to that, better. And I think this is a personal opinion, and as an artist, I'm also trying to get better within my art. So I'm very particular about certain things like that. So on to the next one. So having said that, I mean, we'll see what happens with the She-Hulk show, which comes out August 17th, supposedly, if they don't delay it, which I doubt it. But the next one, I wanted to share my review with Doctor Strange. Not that actually the whole hype is dying off. I want to talk about it. Why? Because it is something that a lot of people are saying it's saying. I mean, they enjoyed it, right? I did not enjoy it. I went with my girlfriend. We did not enjoy it, and trust me, this is coming from a person that actually enjoyed Morbius. And I enjoyed Morbius because it was pretty direct. It wasn't trying to be special. It wasn't trying to do nothing. It was an entertaining movie. They made him look cool. And I think with a lot of these movies, they don't think about how everybody likes, and I get it. Certain movies are meant to have a story behind it, but certain movies are just meant to be cool. And I think that they were able to capitalize and create that with that Morbius character. I enjoyed the Morbius movie, but I didn't enjoy Doctor Strange. The reason being is because there was a lot of hype behind it, and I think that's what's wrong with kind of our society in a way, that some things get too much hype. So when they get hyped so much, you're expecting a lot out of that particular movie. This movie was one of those that I truly believe that they dropped the ball, because for one, you got the label of being a horror movie. I didn't see any horror in that movie. Yeah, you might get one or two jump scares, but that's it. They did show blood in the entire thing. So I mean, if you're considering that being part of horror, okay, but that's not really horror. There's maybe a little bit of gore. But as a whole, the story from beginning to end, I felt like it was rushed. I felt about this movie like I felt about the Venom movie. I was looking forward to it, but I was very disappointed with the Venom movie because it felt rushed and it was only an hour and 30 minutes. And I don't know if it's because Marvel kind of already kind of had set a standard where their movies are a little bit longer than usual movies are. So I'm expecting a longer movie. But the Venom movie was not good to me with the carnage. And I was really looking forward to that movie. This movie with Doctor Strange, I was looking forward for a lot of things. And honestly, I didn't think they were going to use Wanda as the main villain. It made sense in some way. But I think that the character of Doctor Strange could have been so much better, and also the character for the girl that I don't even know, Star, that's her name. Let me see, because I'm not good with names. Let's see, Doctor Strange. So the character of America Chavez, honestly, having introduced her to the MCU, that's a badass power, because it is going to open a lot of things, and I see how they're gonna be able to connect now, and make those different movies within this new phase, because now with her power, somebody that is stronger than Wanda can actually take over and use her as a weapon to move throughout the worlds in the multiverse, and connect different points that at some point were not able to be connected. So I can see how that character is going to be important going forward. But I think that just those 2 minutes of her showing like she came from this particular world, she had 2 mothers. I didn't catch that she was she's supposed to be a lesbian character. I didn't know that. until later. So it was like I believe that it is some character development that she should have had prior to this movie, but it is what it is, you know. So I personally gave this movie a 5 out of 10. It is worth the watch, but it's not worth the hype. You know, it's not worth the hype. I think they could have done a much better job with it. And it's just my personal opinion. So yeah, guys. Up to the next topic, which is hot right now, is NBA. This is the NBA aspect of the show, or the sports aspect of the show. Right now, today was the first game of the finals in the East Conference, and honestly, Jimmy Butler came clutch today. In which I said it. I mean, the Miami Heat are really low key proving that they are a good team. And just like what happened when they were in the bubble, nobody expected the Miami Heat to make it to the finals. This might be that repeat again. This might be that same year happening again. The Bucks are no longer part of the playoffs. So Giannis is no longer part of the picture. So it might be very interesting going forward. I mean, I do have the Celtics winning this series. And today, just to be transparent, today Horford didn't play and Smart didn't play. How much of a difference that's gonna make? It depends on how much more game Jimmy Butler has. He's been balling out this entire playoffs. He's been coming up clutch. He's been stepping up. He's been playing to what he talks. He's been backing what he says. And I think that's the biggest thing right now. If you're not paying attention to the Miami Heat and Jimmy Butler, I think if he continues to play at that level and they continue to trust him and he continues to play defense and offense, it's gonna be pretty difficult for the Celtics to win this series. But we have to see. Honestly, we have to see. Tatum still developing as he's going, and we have to see when Smart comes back and Horford, how is that going to change the dynamic of the game? And I think it is going to change it. Why? Because Smart is a good defensive player, and he's going to be able to at least try to keep up with Butler at some instances, you know. So, but we'll see, man. Butler, Laurie, all of them players they still have a good opportunity to prove that they are the team from the East to actually go to the finals and honestly challenge the Warriors. I think the Warriors and the Mavs is already set. I know you have to play the games, but I think Luka, for the Mavs to win, Luka's gonna have to make at least have 1 or 2 games of 50 points plus. He's gonna have to have at least 1 or 2 triple doubles. He has to play out of his mind because they don't have the defense that the Warriors have. They just don't. They're not a very prolific defensive team. And the thing about the Warriors is that when they're all gelled and on sync and all of those things, you have to worry about not only Steph, you have to worry about Wiggins, you have to worry about Clay, you have to worry about Looney, you have to worry about Poole, you have to worry about all these players. It's not gonna be easy, you know, because when they're in sync, they'll go and score 100 plus 120 points on you, and I think that's the thing with the Mavs. So you're playing that game where you're trying to keep up and see who scores the most points. It's gonna be difficult. But Luka is definitely showing what he is the best young player at the moment. And I think he's not even 25. I think he's like 22 maybe. Let me see. Luka Doncic age. So he's actually 23. He is 23 years old. So he's one of the younger players. I think John Morant is maybe the same or 22. Let me see. So Ja Morant is 22, so he's about to turn 23 on August of this year. So Luka and Ja are the top players right now, but Luka is going to be probably the best player in the next maybe 2 to 3 years. He's going to be the best player in the league as long as he actually takes his preseason serious and he comes in shape into the season. And I think that's the main reason he wasn't more talked about in a good way this year, because he came into the season out of shape. They were trolling him. I remember watching an episode earlier in the year where Skip Bayless and Shannon Sharp, they were both trolling him on how he looked. And yeah, he looked horrible. He looked really bad for a professional. If you would see him in the street, other than knowing he's very, very tall, you wouldn't think he would be a professional basketball player. And that's true, and I think like when you're young, you're going to be able to maybe cut off the weight a little bit quicker. But I think that once you get to a certain level, if you're not taking your physique seriously, if you're not taking your diet, your program, your summer program, you're not taking your career seriously, that eventually catches up. And I think that big examples of that are players that have been at the prime and they allow themselves to do whatever it is. And then when they come back into the league, they have a hard time getting back into whatever football, soccer, basketball shape. It's just a harder transition from going from nothing to getting back to that level. So having said that, I do think that the Warriors probably will win the series in 5. I don't see it going past 5. I might be wrong, but I do think it's going to be 5. It's going to be a 5. I honestly think the Celtics and the Heat is going to go to 7. And the last game is going to be in Miami, so it's going to be very difficult for the Celtics to kind of keep up with this team with the Heat if they don't have all their players. So I think that they do have to have all their players for them to actually win the series, which like I stated, I have them winning. But if they are missing pieces, and I'm talking about any piece, I mean Smart, Horford, if at any point they miss Tatum, or if at any point they miss Brown, or the other shooter that actually scored 7 3-pointers the last like 2 nights ago, it's going to be hard for them to win it. But regardless to say, let's see what happens and occurs. Tomorrow we do have the Mavs versus the Warriors. We'll see how that one goes. But yeah, guys, that's about basketball. When we're going to talk about soccer soon, because we do have the Champions League occurring, the final, and I really want to dive into that because Real Madrid is my favorite team. It's been my favorite team since the Galacticos back in the day. If you're about 20, late 20s, you probably know what that is. So the Galacticos, back when Ronaldo was in there, the first Ronaldo, Beckham, Roberto Carlos, Zidane, Iker, Raúl. When you had all those stars, that's when I became a fan of Real. And those years is also the year when Ronaldinho came into Barcelona and just was killing everybody. But that's when he was like the best player in the world, and that's when he showed his real magic. But I've always been a Real Madrid fan since then, and at this point, it's just like, it's crazy that they're still a prolific team. They're still a team that goes to the semis or finals of international championships, and I really want to talk about that. I don't think they've played Liverpool yet. I really haven't been keeping up with that, but I do know about it. Let's see. So, like I was saying, so they actually play on the 28th. So I will be talking about this soon once they actually play. And see, I mean, my prediction is that Real will go ahead and win this championship, this Champions League. But we'll see. I mean, we'll see what happens. Last but not least, cryptocurrency. because I know a lot of people nowadays, man. Nowadays, I'm not a crypto guru or whatever they call these guys now, but I am a believer in the cryptocurrency world, in the Web 3.0. Reason being is because you have to look at history. And if you're someone that is not open about that just because you believe that it's not going to sustain or it's going to go to zero, yeah, I would tell you look into it. Really look into it. Because I was in that same thought process about a year and a half ago. I really got into crypto the year of 2020 when the pandemic was at its peak, when we was locked in. I was really into crypto, yes, because I started investing. That's when I started investing and looking to invest in certain things because of everything that was going on around in the world. And I've been taught, and I learned this from even Warren Buffett, that you have to actually invest when everybody's panicking, and you have to sell when everybody's bullish, or you have to just basically do the both things. You have to do opposite things. So when everybody thinks is the best time to invest, don't invest, and when it's the worst time to invest. And basically, there are a lot of things that say that's the best thing and the best strategy that you can have as an investor, because it is true. When everybody's trying to sell and panicking, that's when you have to look into it and see exactly what is the reality of what's going on, and that's the trick. You have to look at the reality. You have to look at what's going on. And the thing about crypto is that it is very young. It's a very young market, and there's no way you're going to be able to predict what's going to happen in the future. But you have the capability of doing your research, the capability of understanding what a particular crypto is doing, and why does it exist. And I think a lot of people, when they talk about crypto, you're talking about people trying to make overnight money. And if you know anything about anything, easy money comes. The easy money you get usually leaves the same way. So usually easy money never lasts. Okay, so usually with crypto, one of the things that I've learned within the last year, and this is going to be pretty basic, but the main reason I wanted to talk to you guys about this today is because I want you, if you're a non-believer in crypto, to kind of do the research, do your own research and get into it. Reason being is because you have to analyze everything in history, from the stock market, from Amazon, from anything that is big now. You have to look into it. And when they started, nobody believed in those things. Nobody believed in such a thing as Amazon. They actually started, if you don't know the story, they started as an entire only store for books. And eventually they became the biggest business in the world, because they changed their strategy. They changed everything. So with crypto, I don't think about coins as coins. I think about coins as businesses. You have to look into these different businesses, such as Bitcoin, such as Ethereum, such as Cardano, such as even Shiba Inu, Dogecoin. And you have to see what are their pillars, what is their projects, what is their goals, what are these things, what are these coins / businesses trying to achieve with this new platform. So once you understand that these things are that they're not coins but they're businesses, you start understanding what this is going to be, maybe not in 10 years but in 20 to 30 years. And the thing is that becoming a wealthy crypto person is a reality. Why? Because it is a business, it is a space that is very young. So even if you get into Bitcoin right now, which is at the moment $29,000, you still have a big potential to make a lot of money, and I think that's the myth that these things are going to go to zero because it's online. But if you don't understand how history works, you don't understand the people pushing this. You don't understand that an NFT is something that will one day, and trust me, I'm not a big NFT person in the sense that, buy an NFT because you can get rich out of it. No, I'm not like that. But I understand the value that it can bring to something because of the technology behind it, not because of what you might think and the assumption and the stipulation and the the speculation about something. Well, I'm not talking about speculative terms. I'm talking about reality. Reality is that somebody bought an NFT for $69 million. That's reality. Somebody bought it because somebody found value in it. That person might be wrong. That person might be right. But it's reality. Bored apes. Many people have bought this quote unquote JPEG, as a lot of people call it. It's just a picture I can screenshot and it's mine. You can do that. But it's not in your wallet. It's not in a public wallet. It's not something that you own. It's just a screenshot without no value. So you have to understand there's a difference with certain things. Just because you have something that looks like a Jordan doesn't mean that it is a Jordan. There's multiple fake Jordans out there. But people don't give them the same value. So you have to understand that's the same concept that NFTs are based on. But the technology is very important because it's a quick transaction and it's a quick method to confirm the transfer of something. So in this space, they're currently just working in the art, and me being as an artist, I can understand that. I can understand that if I have a COA, which is a certificate of authenticity, which I do give out with my physical artwork, if it's digital, that's what I'm giving the buyer, a COA. I'm giving them a certificate of authenticity that is actually trackable by putting it on the blockchain. So it's something that can be contractual, something that can be proved, something that can be transferred easily. So for any of you that have that doubt on what an NFT is, that's what it is. If you buy something, you want a receipt that you bought it from somewhere. And that's what you're doing here. If you buy an art piece from me, from any NFT from me, you will get a receipt, and your receipt will stay in your wallet forever. So you can track when, from who, what time, what day, and from who you bought it. And that's basically all that is, So you have to understand, like, NFTs are here to stay. It is not a bubble. It's a bubble when you're buying a lot of things. For example, if you're buying a whole bunch of random art that you think you're going to make money out of, that's a bubble. That's the bubble you're making on your life. That's the bubble that will burst on you because not every art piece has the same value. And you have to understand that. So with crypto, the main reason I want to talk about that, and I'm going to definitely go in depth with crypto eventually because I think it is an important topic. Now that we're moving into a new world and things of that nature, it is an important topic for everyone to learn about because it's a big opportunity for a lot of people. The beauty about crypto is that you don't have to have a lot of money to start investing. The beauty about crypto is that you can easily transfer funds from wallet to wallet. You can easily transfer funds to your own personal heart wallet, which is a device, and you have control over it. The important thing also is that you don't have to have a lot of money when you don't have to have a lot of money. Like you can invest $100 and you get multiple coins of a coin, but you have to understand what you're investing your money on, you know? And you have to go with the mentality. And I think this is the issue with a lot of people, is that sometimes some of the investors or some of the people that actually are sharing this knowledge come out very, very strong about certain things. They have strong beliefs when nobody knows what the hell is going to happen. Nobody knows if Bitcoin's going to go to zero, if Ethereum's going to go. Nobody knows that. But that's the same thing about if Walmart goes to zero. Nobody knows that either. Nobody knows if Apple's going to go to zero. Nobody knows if Tesla's going to go to zero. Nobody knows anything. But you have to give the benefit of the doubt and take some risk, because that is the risk you're taking. And you have to be okay if these things go to zero. You know, we obviously don't want to lose our money, but you cannot make money. Like I heard this saying before, and I think it is very true. You cannot make money with scare money. That just means that if you're scared of investing, don't invest. But don't think because you're not investing, just because you don't understand doesn't mean it's not real. You know, it doesn't mean that it's not a lucrative, or it's not an opportunity for anyone to make money in it. You know, so my biggest kind of realization about crypto within the last year is that if everything goes to zero, am I okay with it? And if everything doesn't go to zero, where am I going to be in the next 5 years? Is this a good opportunity for me to invest in? And that's the main thing that I'm thinking about. I'm not thinking about it going to zero. I'm thinking about what is going to be the upside, or what is going to be, where am I going to be in 5 years if my gut is right, if my research is right, if what I'm looking at is correct. And that's what I'm doing. So I'm basically taking that gamble per se, because a lot of people think it's gambling, that gamble in my future. So if I lose, that's okay. I lost. You know, the worst thing that it can happen, it goes to zero. But the best thing that can happen, it's pretty crazy. So that's where I'm seeing it. And me being able to see other people doing the same thing, when I see somebody that invested in Bitcoin 7 years ago, and actually they believe that Bitcoin is going to be something, and they kept it. Perfect. Think about how much Bitcoin was maybe 5 years ago. If you look at it, I'm pretty sure you'll be surprised how much it was. It was probably about $300. Look at it when it was in 2009. How much was it? It was about cents. And at that moment, it's a little bit more difficult to invest in something like that, because you don't know what it is. It was brand new. It came out of nowhere, basically. But you have to do your research, man. And I think that's the biggest thing. At this point in life, if you're not doing research on the things that are out there, and you're just judging them based on on whatever headline you're reading, either positive or negative, that's on you. You know, and you have to do the work, make the homework, do your homework, man. And at the end of the day, if it's an opportunity for you to change your lifestyle, why wouldn't you want to take that opportunity? So I really appreciate you guys. If you listen to the entire podcast, I appreciate you listening. I appreciate you clicking the video. I will go ahead and bring more content out this week. I am thinking about doing another podcast, hopefully Friday. Hopefully we'll see what updates have occurred and what's going on every on every of the things that I actually enjoy. I mean, this is all about the things that we enjoy as a team. If you're into anime, if you're into, which I just saw that they are going to release some type of Funko Pop for Jujutsu. Let me see. For Jujutsu Kaisen, they're gonna release some Funkos. My brother is really into the Funko Pop stuff. I'm not into it like that, but I might cop one for the Jujutsu Kaisen just because, hey man, that falls right under my style of anime. I like that dark, I like that greedy type of anime, and that's why I like Tokyo Ghoul a lot. But not only Tokyo Ghoul, I like Death Note. I like I even like Dragon Ball Z, man, because that's what I was raised on basically. But the Jujutsu Kaisen, the horror like bloody gutty type of anime, that's what I like. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and call it a night. Hopefully you enjoyed today's episode. Leave me some comments if you like it. Appreciate it. What do you think about the podcast? If you still have any music suggestions, man, come on, let me know, man, because we out here a little bit dry on that. We gotta look for a good song for this podcast, and I won't probably change it into the 100th episode. So if you have a particular saying about that, reach out, let me know. So I'll see you in the next one, guys. Take care. Peace.